Hi, I'm Histand McLean and I'm a yoga instructor from Anchorage, Alaska. And I'm here to do chair yoga with you today. So let's get started. Take a seat. There's a couple of things you need to do chair yoga. You need a firm chair and you need your healthcare provider's blessing. So if you've got those two things, let's start by interlacing our knuckles. Or if that's not comfortable for us, just bring the fingers toward each other. And then we'll draw infinity symbols in the air with our knuckles. We're going to find some gentle movements in all the joints of our body. And then we'll do the other direction. Suddenly it takes a little bit more thought, connecting our mind to our movements. That's one of the key aspects of yoga. Now we'll keep our knuckles together, but move our elbows apart and do the wave. See if you can make your waves even. And then we'll do the opposite direction wave. Watch as the storms come, the waves get choppy. There we go. Now we'll rest our hands in front of our heart center and stir the soup, reaching out to your right, over to your left, crossing in front of the heart and stirring a giant cauldron of soup. You're expecting a lot of people for lunch today. We're targeting the muscles of our upper back, finding some movements through our rib cage and our shoulder blades behind us. And then we'll stir the soup the other direction. All right, we'll bring our hands back to center, release them down, maybe sparkle light out our fingers. Woo, 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 woo. And we'll bring our attention to our feet. Let's rock from heel to toe, heel to toe. Then we'll pause with our heels lifted, stretch out the front of our ankles. And we'll plant the heels and lift the toes up toward the knees. And then we'll rest our feet and we'll start with some dance steps today. Bringing out your right heel out in front and then touching the right toe to the ground underneath the knee. So go heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Jazz hands are optional. And then we'll plant that right foot and do the other side. Left heel coming out, toe underneath. I do the opposite side that I say, so we're all on the same side together. All right, now we'll plant our feet. Let's lift the right foot. We can support the right thigh if we'd like. Lengthen the arms and lean back so the strength of the back is supporting the weight of the leg. And draw circles in the air with the toes. Or if you want more of a challenge, you can do it without the hands. Then we'll circle the other direction with the toes. I call this Rice Krispie yoga because I hear all the snaps, crackles, and pops of my ankle. And then we'll let our foot rest and dangle toward the ground and gently pendulum swing that foot, drawing a little motion into the knee joint. Then the other direction. And then finally, we'll rest the foot and the knee and lift that knee into the air to draw circles in the air with the knee, targeting our hip. And then we'll circle the other direction as well. And we'll plant that foot down. We'll try it on the other side if you'd like to support that left thigh. Arms are long, lean back. Let the strength of your back support the weight of the leg. We'll draw circles in the air with the toes. And then the other direction. Then we'll rest the foot and let the lower leg just pendulum swing, drawing a little space into that knee joint. This feels so good on my knees. Then we'll do the other direction. And then we'll lift the knee into the air and draw some circles in the air with the knee. And then the other direction. Then we'll plant that foot down as well. Let's let our knees sway from side to side. And you might benefit by scooting forward in the chair just a little bit so that your back isn't actually touching the back of the chair. Takes a little more effort, draws our attention to the strength of our torso to keep our posture tall. Letting our knees sway from side to side, targeting our hips. And then we'll bring our knees to center, hands on the knees, and we'll inhale and lift the heart center, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhaling, we'll droop our forehead, our shoulders forward, rounding the back. So taking a breath in, this is called seated cat and cow. So we puff up our chests like proud cows. And then as we exhale, we arch the back, slouchy cat. So breathing in and lifting up, we pull the muscles of the mid-back forward toward the front body. Breathing out, and we round and hunch. Finding some motion in our spinal column. Bring ourselves back to a nice tall position, lifting the heart center away from the belly, broad and relaxed shoulders. We'll bring about our right elbow forward, and we're going to lift it up, out to the side, around and down, exploring the comfortable range of motion in our right shoulder. Now, if I suggest you do a move and you think to yourself, oh, that's not going to be good for my bum shoulder or my trick knee, or my sore wrist, or what have you, you have permission to ignore me and do what's best for you. If this feels all right, let's explore the whole range of motion in that shoulder, letting the circles spiral out larger and larger. And then we'll use the torso to exaggerate this movement, leaning forward, reaching up, turning to the side, and scooping low, bringing the movement into our rib cage and our spinal column. Now next time our elbow's pointing toward the back side of the circle, let's pause there. We'll sit tall, lifting the heart center away from the belly. We'll turn our shoulders to your right, and then we'll uncurl this right hand like someone's about to hand us a handful of nuts and berries, a little snack. We'll hold out our hand. Now if that's not comfortable on your shoulder, consider bending the elbow down toward the hip. See if that feels better on the shoulder. Bending the elbows always helps with the shoulders. We'll take another tall breath in here. Exhale, and we'll swing that arm down, return to the front of the body, and we'll try it on the other side. Left elbow comes forward. First we reach it up, out to the side, around and down. Now if you and your shoulder prefer a nice little circle, that's fine. We'll let it spiral out as large as your shoulder appreciates. Explore your range of motion in this shoulder. It's comfortable for you today. Might be different than yesterday. And then we'll exaggerate it, leaning the torso in, lifting up to the side, turning and scooping low. Next time our elbow points toward the back side of the circle, let's pause there. We'll sit tall. We'll turn our shoulders to the left. We'll uncurl our hands. Someone's about to hand us the car keys to our washed and waxed vehicle. We'll have a breath or two here. One more nice full breath. And we'll exhale and sweep our hand down. Return to center. So for now, let's do a version of a yoga pose called Warrior One here in our seats. We start by sitting a little bit away from the back of the chair, And we'll take our right heel and extend it out and firm it into the ground. And then we'll push that heel into the ground to activate the muscles of our leg. You might feel it in your calf or your thigh. I even feel it in my low back or my hip. So we'll firm that foot down. The left foot is nice and flat on the floor. And we can firm that foot down to activate the muscles of this left leg as well. We'll sit tall at heart center, moving away from the belly. We'll broaden and relax our shoulders. We can even lengthen the back of the neck by tucking the jaw in just a little. We'll take a breath here, firming our feet with a little energy into the ground. And we'll add some hand components. We'll reach out our arms, palms facing each other like we're offering a hug to a robot. We'll have a breath. Then we'll really extend those hands forward, hunching and rounding the back. Take a deep breath here. Broadening the back body. We'll expand the front of the shoulders again. Draw those arm bones back into their sockets. We'll bend the elbows 90 degrees, and then we'll reach our elbows up only as high as our shoulders appreciate. Maybe it'll be high, maybe it'll be medium, maybe it'll be low, maybe one will be. Whatever you and your shoulders decide is best for you today. But we'll reach our hands away from our elbows, just as we're reaching our feet into the ground. We'll take a couple breaths here. If you find that you're holding your breath or that it's hard to catch your breath, lower those elbows a bit more until the breath flows more easily. We have two vectors of motion, our hands reaching up, away from the elbows, our feet reaching down. We're finding space in between. One more breath here in our warrior pose. We'll exhale, hands down. Now let's keep the feet as they are. We'll turn to your left. We'll bring the right hand to the left leg. And the left hand can come to the hip or the side of the chair. We'll turn our shoulders to the left. We'll have a breath or two here. And then we'll peer over the side of the chair like we're looking for a lost button, rounding the forehead and shoulders over the side of the chair, and take a deep breath here. Inhale ourselves tall, return back to center. We'll draw that right foot in. Let's tap out our heels. Tippy tap, tippy tap, tippy tap, tippy tap. We'll let our knees sway from side to side, and we'll try it on the other side. So now the left heel is out. We firm it into the ground. The right foot is flat, also firmed in, activating the muscles of our legs. We'll sit tall. We'll offer that hug to a robot. Come here, robot. And then we'll bend our elbows. Choose how high to lift our elbows. Take a few breaths in and out here. If you find that your breathing is labored, maybe lower the elbows an inch or two. Breathing comes first. We'll have one more breath here. Nice tall hands, feet reaching down, finding space in between. And our next breath here. And we'll exhale our hands down. We'll turn to your right. We'll bring one hand to the bent knee, the other hand to the hip or the chair. We'll sit tall and turn our shoulders to the right. We can even turn our gaze toward the right to let the twist continue all the way up the spine through the neck. And we'll peer over the side of the chair, looking for a lost button, or maybe it's a 50-cent piece. Maybe it's the TV remote. Whatever's worth looking for. Nice deep breath here. Then we'll inhale ourselves tall, and we'll return back to center. And we'll draw that foot back in. All right, we can tap out our heels and let our knees sway from side to side. And we'll do another version of warrior. This one's called warrior 3 here at the chair. And for this pose, it helps to have at least half of your thighs on the chair. So you might want to scoot back till at least half of your thighs are supported by the chair. We'll start by sitting nice and tall, lifting the heart center away from the belly. Broaden and relax the shoulders. We'll firm our belly buttons in toward the spine to help create some strength in the center of the body. And we'll take a breath in. And as we exhale, let's lift the right foot. As we inhale, we'll lower it back down. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. And we'll exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Now we'll exhale to lift. Keep the knee a little bit bent. We'll rock that knee out to the right and then drop back to center, out to the right, back to center, out to the right, back to center. We'll lower that foot down for a moment. Take a breath. Firm your belly button in toward the spine. Exhaling, we'll lift that foot and we'll hold it here for a few breaths. We can even draw the toes back toward the nose. And if we would like more of a challenge, we can try lifting our arms up, robots hugging style. Or we could even bend the elbows and lift them up into the air any distance. Take some breaths. If you notice that you're starting to hold the breath, maybe lower things down a little bit till the breath flows more easily. One more breath here. Well, let everything return back down. Whew. Move around a little bit, and then we'll try it on the other side. So sitting nice and tall, broadening and relaxing the shoulders. We'll take a breath in. As we exhale, the left foot extends, toes toward the nose. Breathing in to lower. Breathing out to extend. Breathing in to lower. Breathing out to extend. Breathing in to lower. Now we'll lift it up a little bit. Keep a bend. Rock that knee out to your left. Back up to center. Rock it out to your left. Back up to center. One more time. Rock it out to the left. Back up to center. Then we'll lower that foot down. Have a breath. Extend it up, hold it here, and choose whether to add the hands or not. Keep breathing. Keep checking in with your smooth flowing breath, and if it's no longer smoothly flowing, lower it back down till you find that easy flow of breath. One more breath here, and everything can lower back down. Whew. All right, let's plant our feet a little wider than usual. And we'll take the heart center, lift it away from the belly, and then scoot it forward an inch or two until we're tilting our torso forward, low belly coming toward the thighs. And we can bring our hands to our lap, or maybe even our forearms to our lap. We'll tilt forward for a few breaths here, lengthening the back of the neck so the gaze might be down to the ground in front of us, rather than have the back of our neck kinked and the front of the neck open. We'll balance the lengths between the front of the neck and the back of the neck. Now we'll take our right hand and we'll reach for the left shin or shoe. And we'll allow that right shoulder to point down toward the ground. We'll bring our left hand to the knee and then lift that left shoulder to point up toward the ceiling. We'll have some breaths here, twisting our spine in this forward tilt of the torso. Inhale ourselves back up. We'll have a breath. We'll tilt our heart center forward, tilting the torso, bringing that low belly toward the thighs. Maybe hands come to the lap, maybe forearms to the lap. We'll lengthen out the back of the neck. Then we'll take the left hand and reach for the right shin or the right shoe, allowing that left shoulder to dip down toward the ground, and the right shoulder to point a little more up toward the ceiling, twisting the torso. We'll have a few breaths here. And then we'll inhale ourselves nice and tall. Let's draw our feet back in together. And we'll start to sit sideways on our chair. So we'll walk our feet over. I'm going to go to the left side first so that we're sitting with our feet on the side of the chair. I'm going to turn my chair around so that I'm facing the front. And so here we are, facing forward on the chair. I've had my chair turn magically. So for this pose, we sit tall, and we notice that probably one of your hips is a little higher than the other because of the angle of the chair seat, and that's just the way we want it. We place our feet underneath our knees for stability, and we'll try to sit tall anyway, lifting our heart center away from the belly. We've got a little space between us and the back of the chair. We'll take a tall breath in, lifting our hands, and as we exhale, we'll turn toward the back of the chair and place your hands anywhere along the chair that feels good for you. We'll turn our shoulders toward the left. We'll have some breaths in and out. And we'll let our elbows melt down toward the ground like they have fishing weights attached to them. We can even turn our gaze over toward the left as well. We'll try to sit tall. We'll lengthen the back of the neck, maybe by tucking in the jaw just a smidgen. We'll have some breaths in and out here. This is a chair version of a pose called Bharadvajasan, which is really fun to say. We'll feel the twist maybe in our waist, in our back and belly, through our rib cage. We'll have another breath here. Now we'll exhale our way back to our knees and the hardest part of yoga class, where we turn around to face the other way. So we just walk our feet all the way around. But rather than face you this way, I'm going to turn my chair. You don't have to turn your chair. So here we are facing the other side. So we'll notice the difference of our hips. We'll try to sit tall anyway. We'll take an inhalation and lift the hands, and exhale our way toward the back of the chair, placing our hands anywhere along here that works for us. Letting our elbows melt toward the ground, relaxing the shoulders down. We'll even turn the gaze off toward the right, having some breaths in and out. We'll take one more breath here, feeling that twist in our back and belly and the sides of our body. And then we can exhale our way back to center. Ooh. And we'll walk our feet around till we're facing forward again. My chair scoots pretty easily. Alrighty, so let's take our hands and hug an opposite shoulder. And we'll round our shoulders forward toward the elbows. And we'll lift the elbows just a little away from the chest. And then draw those elbows from side to side. Oh. We're targeting that rib cage behind us, our mid back. And a little bit of the upper back with the shoulder blades moving away from the spine. Now we'll point our elbows to the center and we'll draw circles in the air with our elbows. Following it with our torso. Really bringing some movement into our spine and rib cage. Keeping our spine and rib cage flexible allows us to breathe deeply, allows us to sit tall, helps everything else. Now, make mental note which direction you're going, clockwise or counterclockwise with your elbows, and which arm is on top. And we'll come to center. We'll inhale our arms nice and wide. We'll exhale the other arm on top. There we go. And then we'll do the other direction circle. come to center, and we'll draw these elbows from side to side. And then we'll come to center and release our arms down. Let's shrug our elbows up toward our ears, roll them back, have them float down, and we'll do that 2 more times. Take a breath in while we shrug, roll them toward the back, and then exhale and let the shoulders just float down. 1 more time. Alrighty, now let's scoot all the way back in our chairs so we feel the full support of our chair underneath us, behind us. And we'll bring our attention to our breath. You can feel how it feels cool when it enters the body and hits the back of the throat. Even in our heated spaces, the air feels cool inside of us. And then a moment later, that same breath of air exhaling out has been warmed up. It feels velvety and smooth. Our body having taken what it needs from it and releasing what it doesn't. We're going to pay attention to our exhalations for a bit, because when we let our exhalations be long and unhurried, and we let them play all the way out, we know that our next breath in will be nice and full. And when we take full, unhurried breaths that are gentle and easy, we signal to our bodies that for this moment, all is well enough. And that in turn helps our heart rate lower, helps our blood pressure lower. It helps all of our body systems work more efficiently. Even our digestive system, even our brain power is more efficient when we take long, full, unhurried exhalations. So let's take a nice full breath in, filling our bellies with breath. And then we'll exhale it all the way out, letting that exhalation be as long as it needs to be. Then we'll return to some gentle, easy breathing. And we'll do that again, taking a nice full inhalation. Exhaling it all the way out, not cutting off that exhalation and hurrying on to the next breath, but taking your time with it. Letting our next breath come in fresh and full and returning to some nice, easy, gentle breathings. We're signaling to our nervous system that we can turn the dial down, calm ourselves down. And we'll do that again a 3rd time, taking a nice full breath in, letting it flow all the way out. And then letting our next breath in and returning to easy, gentle breaths. And we'll begin relaxing our bodies 1 part at a time. We know that when we tense a muscle and then relax it, that muscle is even more relaxed after we've tensed it than before. So we'll start at the feet. Curl our toes up in our shoes and lift our arches and hold all the muscles of the feet strong while you take a breath in. And hold the muscles strong in your feet while you let the breath out. And then at the end of the exhalation, relax the feet. Return to your gentle, easy breathing. And feel how soft and relaxed the feet feel. Now we'll bring our attention to our shins. We'll engage the shins. It helps to lift the toes toward the knees, perhaps. Hold those shins strong. Take a breath in. Hold the shins strong while you let the breath out. And then relax the shins. Return to your gentle, easy breath. And bring your attention around to the calves. It helps to lift the heels to engage the calves and hold the calves strong while you take a breath in. Then we exhale it out. Relax the calves and relax the feet. And let your lower legs be soft and still. And we bring our attention to the long, strong muscles of our thighs. Engaging the thighs, it helps to firm the feet into the ground. And at the same time, pull the feet a little bit toward the heel cup of the shoe, like you're trying to smear the soles of your shoes toward the chair. That'll help engage the hamstrings at the back of the thighs. So engage all the muscles of the thighs, hugging them in toward the bone, and take a nice full breath. And exhale it out. And relax the feet, relax the thighs. Let our legs feel heavy, and we'll bring our attention to our hips. Firm the outer hips in toward the center and lift your seat underneath you. And take a tall breath in, and then exhale it out. Then relax the hips and the seat. And let your weight be supported by the chair. Let yourself feel heavy. The chair can support you. We'll bring our attention to our low belly, below the belly button. Firm that area in toward the spine and lift it a little toward the heart. And try to take a deep breath anyway. And exhale it out. And then soften the belly and take an easy, soft belly breath. Let the belly just press against the waistband of the pants. And as you exhale, let the belly just soften and deflate. Easy belly breath. Now we'll bring our attention up to our lower ribs. Firm the low ribs in toward the spine, as though you have on a wide belt, a little too tight. And hold those low ribs in while you try to take a deep breath anyway. And then exhale it out. And then release, liberate your ribs, and take an easy, wide rib cage breath. Let the inhalation expand the ribs. And then let them just hug back in gently as you exhale. Easy breathing. We'll bring our attention up to the upper torso. Depress your shoulders, pulling the shoulders down toward the ground. And at the same time, point the elbows a little behind you to engage the upper back. So we'll engage our chest with the shoulders pulling down. We'll engage the upper back with the elbows pointing back. We'll hold this upper torso firm and try to take a deep breath anyway. And exhale it out. And then release the shoulders, soften through the upper torso, and take an easy, unrestricted breath. So much easier to breathe when we're not holding tension there. We'll bring our attention to our hands. Make fists with your hands and tighten all the muscles of the arms all the way up to the shoulders, held strong while you take a breath in. And while we let the breath out, and then we'll soften and relax the hands onto the lap and let our arms feel heavy and dull. We'll feel the air flowing through our open throats, our soft necks. We can release through the jaw and let the back of the tongue widen and soften. We can soften and relax the inner ear. Now we'll smile broadly and wrinkle our brows and take a full breath in. And exhale and let all the features of the face melt and soften. Let the temples relax. Let the cheeks sag. Let the eyelids be soft. We'll return to some gentle, easy breaths. And finally, we'll lift the ears up toward the skin at the top of the head, taking a tall breath in. And we'll let the air come out. And melt down the ears, relaxing the sides of the neck, the temples, softening the forehead. And relaxing the skin at the nape of the neck to cool activity at the front of the brain. We'll feel this heavy sense of quiet relaxation in our bodies, in our minds. We'll take some breaths. Knowing that we've done something very well for ourselves, done some good. Helping our nervous system relax, helping all our body systems work more efficiently. Let's take a nice fresh breath here. We'll gently blink our gaze open. We bring ourselves to the end of our chair yoga session. I've brought my yoga bells. I'll give them a ring, see if you can hear them. They're called tingsha bells, and they make a very clear sound. In our traditional end to a yoga session, I bring my palms together over my heart and I bow to you with the yoga word Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.